Hello, Justine here with Bible Journaling Ministries creative team, and today we will be using these throwback graphics to journal Hebrews 13:8, and we will be using a technique with crayons. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Sometimes I wonder where these crazy ideas come from, but we will be using crayons. I have Crayola crayons, and what you need to do first is take off the wrapper that's around the crayons, and that's what I've done here. And you can use any color crayons. These are ones that I had on hand. And maybe go to the dollar store and get some type of grater. This grater is a little bit too small for what we need, so it's kind of the grate will be a little too small. This one right here is actually my kitchen one that I stole. It's got the bigger grates, so I'm sure at the dollar store will probably have some type of grater that you can use. That's not gonna mess it up. I personally felt like it was okay to use my grater that I had. So you just go ahead and grate the different colors. I did it on a separate piece of plate. So I grabbed about 3 plates. I grate on one plate, and then I just put them on in different areas of another plate. And they do stick a little bit. You have to have some patience, but it's really cool. But yeah, so my grater, it's metal, and I figured I could just use a Brillo pad or something to wash it off. I'm not too concerned with my grater, but you might want to go ahead and get one from the Dollar Tree, or maybe a garage sale or yard sale or something like that. Just might not want to use your kitchen one. So I'm grading colors that I think will go with the graphics that we're going to be using. And I wish that I had maybe like closer colors, but I'm going to focus probably on the blue and the yellow. So I did some previously, so I'm just kind of showing you. And also you might want to wipe off or wash off the grater in between, because I noticed that some of the color from the previous crayon is getting into the pile. For me personally, for this technique, it didn't bother me that much, but it's up to you. And be careful of your nails. You don't want to grate your nails. So I'm just going to wipe it off real quick with a baby wipe to maybe get off some of that extra that I was just talking about. So Hebrews 13:8 reads, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So do not be attracted by strange new ideas. Your strength comes from God's grace and not from the rules about food, which don't help those who follow them. So, isn't it awesome that we can think about how God just never changes? He is the same always. So we can really count on him, not like our friends. Oh yes, you also need a heater. If you don't have a heater, I'm pretty sure a embossing tool will work too, and probably a hairdryer. So let me flip through and try to find Hebrews 13. I'm using the Interleave Bible, and I love this one for my Bible journaling for sure. So I'm not really using the other side of I'm not covering the words, which that doesn't bother me, but some people it does. I'm going to do a background here with some pink acrylic paint. I probably would have preferred to have a pink crayon, but in order to get the colors that I wanted, but this actually turns out to be a pretty good technique. So you can use your finger, you can use a wipe, you can use a paper towel, and just sporadically smearing the acrylic around the page and leaving lots of white space. And then taking the crayon and sprinkling it on. So here I'm going to be using the yellow and the purple and the blue, and I might throw in some green. And I don't really want a cluster. I want it to be sprinkled all over. And then you can always go back and add more if you really wanted to. So I'm going to use the heat gun, and it will shift a little. The crayons will move a little bit, so just kind of be gentle and go in slowly. But they'll melt, and it's a really cool effect. It's like splattering, but a different technique, and it also has some lift to it. So it has some, you can feel when you touch it, you can feel the crayons. And just making sure I get all of that. So I will show you, you do have a little bit of a bleed through. It's like an oil bleed through. And I will show you in 1 second. I'm just going to add some more yellow. So honestly, these colors are not colors I would normally do. I'm more of a bright color type thing, but I honestly think in the end they work. So here's the back, and you do have some bleed through, so be aware of that. I didn't try it, but you might want to try gesso. Putting gesso down, that might help put the barrier between the crayon and the page. Kind of up to you, and it dries very quickly, so that it's a really quick thing. I was also thinking that this might be cool if you did it on a piece of paper and then do egg shapes and use it for eggs, like to put in an Easter basket in your journal, or for on a card or something like that. It's just like having speckled eggs. But that was my actual thought. And then I remembered that I wasn't doing Easter this month. I was actually doing this Hebrews 13:8, so I had to switch it out. But I like this because I've never done this before, and I just think it's just really cool to step out of your comfort zone and try different things. And using these graphics makes it really easy because you just basically need to do the background work, and Bible Journaling Ministries has done the rest, right? So I'm thinking about Hebrews 13:8. And I'm thinking, do we always remember that our true leader is Jesus, that we should follow him as a leader and as his truth and his word, that humans are not always right, and they will change when God never changes. So I'm thinking, I like to use when the graphics a little bit different, just to show you when you purchase the kit, or if you have it through Momentum, that there's excuse me, other ways that you can use it. So I'm using the Rolodex as a background piece. So you can print it again and use it as a background piece and also as a Rolodex. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear it up here and just add the elements around. The good thing too about the margin graphic that Tracy gives us, you can either put it in your margin and be done if you want. If that's the level of Bible journaling you're at right now, hey, that's just fine. Just remember to date your page, and if you want to add some notes, Or if you want to use it like I did here and just put it on a page and to fill the page a little bit more, either way is fine. And I'm thinking too about how, how this world has changed in so many ways, and how my constant and my peace is the Lord. Honestly, it is a relief and a comfort to know I can turn to my Bible, I can turn to my Bible journaling, and know God's Word doesn't change year after year, decade after decade. Although He might give it to us in a different way. When we read it, we might interpret it a little bit different because God's showing us something different through His Word, but the Word will always remain the same. I'm using wet glue, but you can use whatever glue that you prefer. Actually, lately I like to use the gel medium too, to go back over my page of the graphics, so that the ink doesn't mess up. Kind of seals it a little bit. And just kind of playing and relaxing and there we go. I love this troll. I think I would do a whole page of trolls. It's just so cute. I like the purples and the color combination is awesome. And I did repeat some of the graphics, and that's okay. So I have the troll, the skates. Isn't it funny how things just come back around too? They just keep coming around, but in a different version. But not with God. His version is always the same. So I have most of the elements that I want, and I'm thinking that the white space, I really want a little bit more color. So I'm going to grab, I don't want the marker. I'm going to go ahead and grab my charcoal pencil. Now I'm just really new with charcoal, and I like to play with it. So I want to go around the edge. And I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can leave it there if you want to. I mean, you can, you know the drill. God is so good. God is so good. The creativity that He gives each and every one of us, and the fact that we can just come up with different things. We each have the same one item, but there's so many different ways to go about it. So yeah, I like it that it's kind of outlining it, because it's bringing the darker crayon, kind of like adding to it. Again, if you decide to do this, please post it on the page. I love seeing the St. Patty's Day different versions that you guys did. It was awesome, and it makes my heart jump. So please go ahead and post it. And even if you don't do this technique and just use the graphics, that's fine too. Or if you use the technique and not the graphics, but we want you to use the graphics. Momentum is awesome. Tracy has so many great things in the kit. It's definitely worth it. And I almost forgot the cute little, oh my gosh, ring pop. How can I forget the ring pop? That and the troll just bring me back to my childhood. And the skating, actually that whole thing right there. Don't forget to date your page. Yep. I didn't want the white space, so I am going through and adding. I'm using the crayon. Heck, why not? That's where it all started, right? In kindergarten with crayons. So I'm just adding in some of the yellow. You can't really see it, I don't think, on... Yeah, I can see it. I can see it in some areas. And just going around adding in some brightness to it. I'm going very lightly. I'm not going hard, so I'm doing a light coloring. I think I'm liking it. And you can go over the crayons that are on the page too a little bit. So it didn't turn out that bad. I think it's really cool. I actually at first wanted to try to drip it, but it wasn't happening. So, yeah, you can see the yellow. So it's just a different version of splattering. And again, you do have that oil on the back there, so if you want to try gesso, go ahead and do that. You could probably even do clear or white, whichever one. Or know that on this page that you're just going to cover the whole background with acrylic on the opposite page. That was pretty easy. So I decided to go ahead and show you another version, using a few different supplies, but basically the same. And I do want to remind you that you can find the digital printables in the store at BibleJournalingMinistries.com/store. So if you would like to go purchase these, and there are several other awesome printables for this month. So I'm going to go ahead and find some washi tape. And when I'm doing my Bible journaling, a lot of times I don't cover my wording with anything, but I'm going to use some washi tape. Just another technique that you can do, because when we're doing the crayon, I don't want the crayon to cover the words, and the washi tape will come off just as easy. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of that. And just a couple verses, usually before and after I like to cover them. And I'm just going to go ahead and use straight up gelatos. Excuse me. I'm going to protect my page. Important. You don't know how many times I forgot to. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use purple and blue because that's what I want to, since I used pink last time, I want to see how it looks with those colors. So just randomly putting it on the page and then using my finger because I'm okay with that. I'm thinking maybe a wipe would be better because I want it to blend a little bit better. So I'm just using a baby wipe to blend it and just scattering around. Now I'm going to add the blue. And actually these gelatos are metallic. Those are so cool. I don't know if you guys have ever used the metallic gelatos, but they're a lot of fun. They just add that little bit of sparkle because I like sparkle. I don't think I've done one video without some kind of sparkle or glitter or something like that. Okay, I don't want to go too crazy because I'm not sure. I can add the gelato later, and I want to focus on like yellow and purple and then a little green because I'm matching the colors in the graphic here, and then I'm not doing it as heavy as I did before. Remember, you can always go back in and add. So my main colors are yellow, blue, purple, and a little bit of orange. Then you're going to go back in, and as you see, I'm holding it high because I'm just trying to get the feel of how those crayon specks are going to move. They melt pretty quickly. It's so cool to watch them melt too. And then just going in there. So this particular Bible I have here, this is actually my Bible Journaling Ministries Bible from when I first started. I think it's been like 3 years now. So I like to do a page in there too. And this particular Bible I just bought at a Goodwill. It's a woman's Bible. And here you see again that I'm just covering the whole page except for the verse. And that's, in this particular Bible, that's how I like to do it. So just gently take off the washi tape. And it comes right off. And then that particular area is the verse area. And then, like I said, the crayon really dries quickly. So I'm just going to take my favorite troll. Notice I upgraded his size. I wanted him bigger. So I'm just using a couple pieces bigger sized, not so clustered. There will be some cluster because this is a smaller Bible. But there's my troll. And then I'm using these particular ones because they're focusing on reminding me that I forget what it says on it. The wording on there, Jesus saves, and that type of thing. Again, back to the wet glue. I hope you enjoy this. I hope that you will, like I said, show me, give it a try. If not in your Bible, in a mixed media book or something. And again, here I'm using the washi from the printable because I like to use up all the graphics, or as much as I can. Placing it over top of the verses. I try very hard, now this is my mind, I try very hard not to cover up the verse. Here's a tab. And if you see on the left side, you'll see all my other tabs. So in the Interleave Bible, I don't use the tabs, but here I am using the Hebrews 13:8 tab to get me to where I want to be, because I do sometimes, it takes me a little while to find certain books. I remember where they are, but when they're smaller, sometimes I forget. And now I can't decide if I want to use this or not. Do you remember playing that? Oh my gosh. That's crazy how time flies. Oh, I do want to warn you too. I don't know if I haven't mentioned, but the flakes, some of the crayon little flakes will go around your workspace, so just make sure you clean it up well when you're done. Otherwise you'll have crayon specks all over the place. There we go. Not yet. Maybe later. And then I decide to go ahead and add a little bit more blue, a little bit more color to the page. And that's the thing, you can always go, it's harder to take away than to add, so just take your time when you're doing that. And although gelatos sometimes are forgiving because you can wash them away with, you might you might mess up your paper, you might like wash away your paper, but I just really thought it needed some more color. Trying to stay away from that verse to keep it open. Some people highlight it too, so if you want to highlight it, you can. And then I never try to figure out if I want to use the other graphics, but I use them in the other page. So I think I'll not use those, but I do want the that ring pop. I want that ring pop back, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use the flags the banners there, because I don't use them often enough, and I really should use them, so I'm just fussy cutting. And remember, you can do this, you can print this out on clear sticker paper so that you have it like kind of see-through. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the pink and the blue. Do a little fussy cutting. I hope that this encourages you to want to you know, dive into the Word and to do some Bible journaling and some different techniques and spend time with the Lord. And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can be notified when we release new videos, because there's plenty to be had. And I appreciate you following along with my videos too. It's awesome to see your comments and all that. This is another fun color. I really do. I like it. I didn't think I would at first, but I do like this. It's cute. I think the kids would like this too. You figure as long as they keep their hands away from the heat gun, they really can't get hurt. And just to see how the crayon melts on the page is really cool. So here, I don't know if any of you noticed this, but I'm getting ready to cover up my space there. I am not thinking, and I am covering up my space. I will notice in a few minutes. I'm happily cutting out. So even if I forgot and left it there, that's fine, because it's just a little mistake, and it's more important about meditating on the Word and spending time with the Lord, and I hope that my videos help you to do that. I encourage you just to really focus on your time with Him. But I did catch it. Thank goodness. So until next time, God bless you, and make sure you share your pictures with us, because we'd love to see them. Bye-bye.